My name's Natalia. This is the Helios 700, and today I'm going to try and kill it. If you haven't seen the Helios 700 before, then some context. It's Predator's Beastie Boy laptop. I say laptop very loosely here. Firstly, in the sense that it could overpower most PCs. Secondly, due to the fact that I wouldn't really recommend keeping it on your lap. It's heavy. But there's no point having a powerhouse like this if you can't push it to its limits, for science. And in order to do that, I'm going to max out the CPU and GPU usage, having all the things open at once, running multiple processes, and playing a game or two, until something breaks, for science. All well and good in theory, but the problem is, I don't exactly know what its limits are. The hardest I've ever seen a GPU work was to about 80% usage while gaming, and I rarely ever see the CPU usage hit over 60% maybe, so it might be a bit difficult. Listen, 3D rendering, animation, I don't know them. What I do know, however, is just like very basic editing, maybe how to get a stream working on a good day, not always. So yeah, I think maxing out the CPU usage might be a bit difficult. And yes, I know I could just stress test it using dedicated software, but that's no fun. I want to test it out in a real life scenario, like running 2 games at once while exporting a 4K video during a live stream with 10 YouTube videos playing in the background. Just really real life scenarios, you know? Now, I should actually mention why this feat is going to be so difficult, and that's because of the specs on this boy here. In the red corner, introducing our CPU, we have an i9-10980HK processor, so basically just the most powerful processor you could stick in a gaming laptop. The H at the end of it standing for high performance graphics, and the K standing for overclockable. It is overclockable, ladies and gentlemen, and we are going to be playing around with that today. An overclockable CPU in a laptop. Pretty crazy. But in order to overclock it, I need to plug in both AC adapters. Yes, you heard me. Both. Ooh, I might have broke my table. They really put the brick in power brick. Now, these are 2 330 watt power bricks, which amounts to a total of 660 watts of power to the system. That's actually crazy. That might be clinically insane. Now, it's worth noting that you don't need both chargers all the time. For general gaming, one is fine. But for overclocking, we need both. And if we're trying to see just how far we can push the Helios 700 today, then we'll probably have a play around with the overclocking too, as if an i9 processor wasn't already powerful enough. And we have a powerful GPU to match as well. The Helios is packing an NVIDIA RTX 2080 Super card. Super, which is also overclockable. I'm really excited, yeah. But all in all, you could just say the Helios 700 is just really capable. Or overpowered as fuck. So our plan of action, run as many things as possible on the Helios 700 until we find its breaking point. The most demanding game I have is Flight Simulator, so I'm going to be playing that. I'll also do some 4K video editing, some other content creation. I might stream as well, and if all of that can run smoothly at the same time, then I guess we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Okay, so let me get everything up and running. I have connected to a monitor to make viewing this whole mess and all the programs that's going to be up and running a little bit easier. Is it a 4K monitor? No, it's not. Would that have helped my cause? Yes, it probably would have. However, this is the Predator XP3 monitor that I have, and actually that I love. This one is the one with the ultra-high 240Hz refresh rate with the 1080p resolution. Was it made for games like Flight Simulator, where the frames are generally low and the emphasis is more on the visuals? No, it was not. However, was it made for games like Warzone, CSGO, Valorant, where having a high refresh rate that can show your game's high frame rate to give you an extra edge? Was it made for games like that? Yes, it was. That's what I wanted to say. Okay, so let's try and get as many things running as humanly possible. I have one camera on me, I hope, and I have one camera on my screens. Screens. So you would be able to see everything as it's going on. Let me just. This is a mess. Let me just fix this a little bit. Oh, this makes me so sad. Okay, so right now we have the CPU and GPU running at a 13% and 17% respectively. So let me get Flight Simulator up and running. Oh, and we have the Japan update. Oh, this looks super nice. Okay. Forgot to mention I've already started overclocking it a little bit. So there are 3 overclocking speeds. There is fast, boosted, and extreme. In order to get the boosted and extreme overclocking options, I need to, you know, shum the keyboard. I need to slide the keyboard out. That's the sound it makes. It goes shum. I wanted to get Flight Simulator running here, and I wanted to get some kind of content creation going on the screen right here. So I wanted to do some 4K video editing. Bear in mind, all these are shot in 1080p. So I don't really usually do 4K video recordings because there's no point. I'm in my really dark basement, so having a high resolution will just make the noise probably even noisier. So I went outside yesterday, which I don't know why I sound so surprised, but I went outside, I took my cat for a walk, and I swear to God I'm not joking. So I took my camera with me, and you know, we're going to make a little video out of that. So that's what we're going to be doing in order to kind of like test the CPU a little bit more. Okay, so right now we have Premiere Pro open, we have Lightroom open. I've been editing a photo. We've got Flight Simulator on. Had to turn the music off. It's so annoying. And let me see what else I can get open, because right now it's not really doing too much. Our CPU is running at 16%. GPU is running at 57%. So it's all pretty okay, isn't it? So I've downloaded the Tour of Japan. Let's start gaming it and then see what happens. I can't remember how to take off, so let's do this. Oh! I know. It's all going wrong. Okay. Maintain a steady climb. Well, if this isn't a steady climb, I don't know what it is. Where am I supposed to be going? Oh, okay. I'm supposed to be going that way. Okay. Let's meow. Let me check what I'm actually running this in. Yeah, ultra everything. And let's just stick that up to 200 as well. Then everything else is at the highest it can be. It's a little bit jittery now, isn't it? That's fine. Let me, while I'm doing this, let me play around with my video a little bit more. Okay, so this is frozen. Cool, okay. Okay, we're starting to freeze. This is exciting stuff. It doesn't feel that bad. Also, this is one of the things I like about the Helios 700, is that the keyboard slides out, especially like with the WASD keys. On some laptops, I find that they get like ridiculously hot, and my little fingers are like burning. So that's what I like about this one. It kind of like, it drags the keyboard away from all that, which is great. I mean, not that it matters because I'm using a controller, but it's nice to know. Okay, so we have Lightroom there, we have a Premiere Pro there. Oh, I also got this other thing that was like a character animator, 2020. Oh, pull up a bit. Okay. Oh no, not here. Ah, minimize! Flight Simulator! Pull up, I know. Don't crash. Oh, that's not where I wanted you to open. Where are you? Here you are. So I'm not really sure what this is. I don't know what it is, but it does make me laugh. So you choose the character. I chose a troll because, I don't know. I feel like it's a good representation of me. And then, look, he's talking with me. Play with his little arms. Punches turned through the head. What else can I do? Can you... Oh, okay, right, pull up. Oh no, I've gone the wrong way. Okay, let me do like a quick 360. Oh, well, that's... Oof. Ah. I might be stuck. Oh, things are freezing, I will say. Not much, not often, but they are freezing. CPU is running pretty hot. And it's not to say you can't have 100% usage and everything be okay. As long as things are running cool enough and your gameplay is fine and your system isn't like crashing, stuttering, whatever, then 100% usage, you know, It's fine. It's when you have nothing open and your CPU is running at 100% and your laptop sounds like it's going to take off. That's when you need to start being worried. I might as well start streaming too. So we have, now we have a few different things running. So I've gone ahead and opened up Streamlabs to get a Twitch stream up and running because why not? I mean, it's literally handling everything else just fine. And I've changed the overclocking setting to the highest just in case. You can probably hear the fans now. But the CPU usage is lower than I expected. Flight Sim being a CPU heavy game, plus streaming, plus the content creation, I'm now exporting my video. But I'm going to assume the low usage and the high temperature is more due to the fact that I'm overclocking, so. Oh man. I overstressed the air cap, but I did not overstress the Helios. Right, I don't know what else I can do. I'm actually not sure what else to do. I've been exporting this 4K video. I streamed, didn't do anything. Played my game, didn't do anything. So, I guess we're going to have to go to that dedicated software that I was ripping apart earlier. That I said I didn't want to have to do. Let's download Prime 95 and stress this boy out. Torture test. Okay. So Prime 95 is a software that's used to stress your CPU to the maximum to give you an indication on your system stability. It's pretty tough. I'm going to be running a 16-thread torture test, and I'm mainly just adding it in to throw another thing into the mix because I don't know what else to do. Ooh. Okay, well now we're at 100% usage. You can't see. Yeah, boy. It's pretty cool as well. Let me see if everything's working. Okay, yeah, we're still exporting our video. 3 hours left. Cool. Maybe I just keep the stress test on while I play Flight Simulator. Is it frozen? I think it crashed. It is using its maximum capacity of RAM. Dang. Yeah, Flight Simulator did a whole crash on me. Okie dokie. It brokey. No, it didn't. It didn't breaky. It's back, baby. Hello again. So, almost immediately after I said, the Helios is fine, everything's fine, we're back, baby. We were not back, baby, and everything started to crash, and I've only just realized this now while editing the video, like 2 weeks later, so that's fun. So what happened was my voice recording software crashed, so we don't have any audio, great. My screen recording software also did not screen record anything, so there's nothing to show there too. But that was it. Prime 95 was still stress testing my CPU and that went fine. Torture testing my CPU and that was fine. I was still exporting a 4K video in Premiere Pro, that was fine. I was still playing Flight Simulator in ultra settings, also fine. I managed to play that for a good 5 to 10 minutes before the system was like, Frame rate was not great, but it was playable. I still had Lightroom open, I still had Animator open. Admittedly, I did stop the live stream just because at this point I was essentially just screaming and I was like, well, this isn't fun content for anyone, so I'm going to stop here. And I also had Chrome open with, knowing me, probably at least 10 tabs. Half of them would have been YouTube, so... And only after that did it actually hit 100% GPU and CPU usage. So it needed all of the everyday programs at the same time, plus stress testing, to get to that point. And I'm not saying 100% usage is a bad thing. It's not like it's going to damage your system if everything is, running fine and the temperature is fine. It's when things are running at 100% and they're not really running. Your game is stuttering, it's lagging, you can't play your game anymore, you can't run your software. That's when you can see where your bottleneck is in the system, and that's where you should think about starting to upgrade maybe. And the temperature was fine, and admittedly, the temperature is probably the one thing that could damage the system, but it will throttle before it gets to too high of a temperature to bring the system down to a cooler temperature. The Helios was never gonna break. Oopsie, I admit it now. But I was interested to see what we could throw at it before things started to go wrong. Turns out a lot. And if you made it this far, then I just have to say thanks, because this was... this video was a mess. This video was the Hot Mess Express and I was the pilot. I just wanted to see what it could do. It can do a lot. That's the end of the video. That's the takeaway from this. That's all from me. Let me know what you'd like to see the Helios 700 do. Play some games, take some time off. I feel like it deserves it. But I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.